up, good people? Oh man, I'm sorry for the pause. I mean, I got a lot going on right now, so I want to discuss with y'all about. Uh, Man, so this blog here, I had to dedicate this to. I dedicate this to my cousin-in-law, Mark Hollingsworth. I I do this for him, you know. So I'm sorry, y'all. I just right now I'm just well for a while now. Ever since yesterday, I've been in disbelief to a certain extent because it's like I'm kind of overwhelmed in a way. Man, so my cousin-in-law Mark passed away yesterday. His mom found him, dead, in the room. Of course, is natural cause and everything. So I want to give you a quick back end story. I led up to this, right? So a while back, he meet up with a chick from Atlanta, get married, all that. And of course, in the midst of their marriage, they conceived a child, right? So in that situation, their relationship make a turn for the worse, you know. Couldn't stand each other. It just, you know, all kind of, drama or whatever. So, right. So now the child is here, right? So of course, they relationship, they separated or whatever. And so with him, his whole little deal was, he wanted the baby to, take care of his child, you know, and look out for him. He wanted to be a better father than what his father was, you know. Now, I mean, I really don't know if that's, you know, true about his father, one being in his life like that or whatever. So I really don't know. Um, I'm just going off of what he told me, right? So here it is. Uh, get up there, and he had been stressing out over the situation, over the whole ordeal of trying to, take care of his child. And even to a certain point where he was just like, he wouldn't even take care of himself because he was so overwhelmed and overstressed of the fact that he wanted to take care of his child. You know, that was something that, that he was big on about. And of course, he had to go through all type of, court shit and everything or whatever. So, trying to, do everything in his power in order to take care of his son. That's that's what he big on, right now. And you can pretty much tell that, this was weighing on real bad. You know, it's weighing on real hard, which led to a few times he ended up in the hospital. Blood pressure would skyrocket. You know, uh, having complication with his heart and everything. So, I mean, it was just, it was a whole lot that he was, constantly dealing with behind this situation that was you know, just wasn't good. So, fast forward to now. Like I say, he had been battling with this shit probably like 2 years or so. And supposedly supposed to be in, um, he had some type of custody over his son and everything. But never seen what was what behind it, right? So all of a sudden, um, get up here and so I'm sorry. I like to say it's a sad situation, you know. Then it was just out of the blue, right? So get up here Saturday, this past Saturday. I got off from work. I made a run somewhere, ran a little errand somewhere right quick fast, and then got back towards the house on the block. So he see me. So he like, man, he stopped me. So he said, man, can you run me to the store? I'm like, shit, for sure, I got you. I got you. Like that. So I, run him to the store. Next thing you know, um, next thing you know, as I'm running to the store, of course, he bent, you know, he bent, leaving everything he talking about, he's stressing about this, that, and the third, how it was just, affecting him and whatever. So, right. So, all of a sudden, he was like, man, let me let you go and get some rest, like that. Because normally, if we around each other and he talking about that, we'd be there for a while. But this particular time, you know, he bent it. And he was like, I appreciate you letting me vent for that little short period. Like that. All like, true, true. After that, you know, he's like, I'm gonna let you go, get some rest. Holler back. He get up. I said, all right, say less. So, I went on to the crib, laid down, whatever. So fast forward to the next day. Now we at Mother's Day. Mother's Day. So when we get ready to leave, me and the fam, we get ready to leave. We head to church. So right when we passed by the house, my wife like, hey, Uncle Joe and them, man, went to I ain't going to church already. Which normally they, they'd be gone before. If I got to wait on the fam, you know what I'm saying? They'll be gone before me, right? But yesterday they didn't leave before me, right? So my wife like, man, I'm gonna check on them when we come back. I said, all right, so we in church, whatever, because I had to go and get set up and everything. On my way to church, I get stopped by the police. You know, got a whole nother ticket. You know, so after that, like I say, I sit up at church. Yeah. And I getting everything squared away. This, that, and the third. So fast forward, go to 10 bucks on same something about the text on to you, man. So get up there. Um, I so right before the pastor, you know, go to the get ready to preach a sermon, we weren't even good 5 minutes in. So I see out of the window in the audio room, I see my wife get up and she on the phone. So then she walks out of the sanctuary. So I just so happened to look at camera 3. Cause I got 5 cameras, but camera 3 always face out towards the sanctuary. I can tell when somebody coming in and out that joint. I can always see it. So I just so happened to glance at camera 3 and I see my wife came right back in real quick. And all of a sudden she come walking in front of the audio window and come in the room where I'm at. And she say, we need to go because supposedly they found Mark dead. It's like, what? So I get up. And I'm like, I know you fucking lying. So then I leave out. I leave out the sanctuary. Come to my truck, like, and my phone go off. My wife, uncle, been trying to reach out for the longest. Like, he reaching out to me, you know. I'm like, man, we got to go. Like, he looking for me, you know. So all of a sudden, I go back into church and I talk with minister and deacon and trustee about whatever. They were like, just going to go. So on my way to the house, first my wife like, you want me to drive? I said, no, we ain't driving. I got this. My wife know how I drive. Like, it's zooming not it's your, like, that's just me, right? So I get up there and I'm like, I get to the, on the way there, she like, man, I just got a ticket. I don't care. I pay it. Shit. give a damn. I pay that shit. You know, I forgot I'm a daddy child. You know, like damn that. So get that to the house. See the ambulance. Police done dealt. Go in the house. And to see them how hysterical they is. Shock and disbelief. They're not going there, man. I see him, you know. When I touch him, I know that rigor mortis had already set in. So he had been gone for a while. He had been gone for a while. I'm just like, man. I shit got me fucked up because, like I said, I just talked to him. You know, he gone. Man. And then fast forward, you know, I don't know why I just had this habit. I think there's something God built in me that situation like this, I have to be that strong person for everybody. Most important, the person who passed away. I have to be, you know, present. I have to make sure, you know, they taken care of. You know, I always have to make sure that, you know, like, so when it came time to the funeral to get his body, you know, I had to be one of the ones to help get his body and get him out the house and make sure he, you know, he was taken care of. So I had to do just that. You know. I appreciate y'all, you know, hearing me out. You know, I needed a vent. I needed a vent. You know, I really did. I needed a vent because, yeah, it just, you know, this whole situation, you know, came at a shock to all of us. You know, see his mom's like that. You know, she just, you know, she's not in a good space right now. And that's her baby child. So, of course, you know, she feels some type of way, you know. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate y'all, hearing me out, you know what I'm saying, getting about this, you know. Y'all already know. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this channel, everything. Till next time, hope to see you nevermore.